Hi Anti-Society, welcome back to the Anti-Social Planet, and today we are reading chapters 43 and 44 of Tower of God. So in the last chapters, we finished off this test that we were doing, this hide and seek test with Team A, where I went through a whole bunch of emotions about Kun because it was like being so proud of him for like coming up with this plan and then them failing and then me being upset because like they tried so hard and then it all being part of his plan anyway. I don't even know how to feel, because on the one hand I want to be disappointed that they didn't like win and that's gonna be bad for some of the people on Team A, but I'm also like, Kun's plan succeeded, so like I guess I shouldn't be upset because he's not. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing that I'm feeling about Kun right now. But we ended off with Team B about to go into their hide and seek round, which is of course Bomb's team, and Rachel is also there, and Hots. Ugh, I want Hots to pass too. Just, you know, we still have the whole thing where someone is plotting to have Bomb lose and not pass this part of the test. So I don't know if that's gonna come up at some point, some within team sabotage, but it also does look like Quant is a little bit upset about how the last test went. He probably doesn't like being outmaneuvered by a regular, let alone one that eventually ended up helping him win against Team A. So he probably has a lot of anger boiling up, and he just might take it out on Team B, which is also worrying to me. So we're gonna find out exactly how this is gonna go, at least the beginning of it. Let's see if they get some kind of like plan, you know? But yeah, starting off with Team B going into this test, I'll be interested to see what kind of things get changed up or what kind of tactics Team B decides to use in comparison to Team A. But let's just get into chapter 43. Okay, chapter 43. What are we trying to accomplish here? Are we trying the similar plan to Team A? Or are we just trying to get to the exit as fast as possible? Ominous sound? What's going on? Are we taking a break? Quant is definitely gonna catch up with you guys. I'm just saying. Bomb seems to have some thoughts happening. Some cogs moving. What's the plan? Ah, so they needed somebody to step up and take the leadership role the way that Kun did, but they didn't have that. Not good teamwork. Did Endorsi step up and say, I'm in charge? Well, looks like it. I mean, who's gonna tell her no, right? She's a princess of Jad, and also, like, probably one of the more talented fighters. What are you gonna do? This guy's a little bit sus, I'm just saying. He seems to see an opportunity to align himself with the princess, and he's, like, taking advantage of that. And, like, already leaning into this idea of like separating the group into different sections, you know, like he's not trying to unite it by like pointing out someone else's shortcomings to make himself look better. He's just continuing to build a rift between the different sections of the team. I don't like nothing against Endorsi. I find her quite entertaining, but also I don't know if she's a planner, you know? I don't know if she's a mastermind of grand scale plans, you know? After like Kun and Shibitsu, I'm like, I don't know if planning ahead is her strong point. Oh, a risky plan, huh? Getting in position, are we ambushing him? Yeah, I don't know if that's true. Like, I don't know if it's true that Quant isn't going to come after them before he examines all of them, because it's not his job really to examine them. I mean, maybe it is for like his class because he's one of the teachers, but I think it's mostly up to the other like teachers to decide on the examination of the different regulars. And as we saw from the last grading thing, I mean, obviously they don't know that, but we saw with the grading of the last team that when it was like people that didn't really do anything, they were just like whatever, they didn't do much. Like I don't think they care about like giving everyone an equal chance to show off their skills. I think that they're just gonna be like, oh, they didn't do anything, so lower score, and that's gonna be how it is. So I think Quant might make a beeline for whoever's it and just kind of go with that. Seems to be a bit of an autocratic leadership type with intimidation. Maybe not the best way to go. I mean, even like Kun put it up to a vote. He was like pretty sure he's gonna win, but he was like, let's vote on it. What's going on, Bomb? What's in your head? That's it? There's all the fishermen are gonna work together? That's the plan? There's gotta be more. I'm just Hots telling it like it is. This team seems very disjointed. Like, the other team seemed to really be a team, which just makes me more sad that, like, Kun was like, y'all are gonna fail and I'm gonna ensure that I pass. I know why he did it, okay, but it makes me a little bit sad because they were all so ready to, like, follow his lead and also comfort him when they thought that he was upset about them losing. Whereas, like, this team, there doesn't seem to be any kind of unity. Everyone seems to be out for themselves, and maybe, like, 2 or 3 of them banding together, but mostly it seems every person for themselves. Yeah, it's probably not a good plan. I feel like Quant could just slip out. He does that shadow thing. I wonder how much, like, Quant has an idea of what the plan is going to be, like, knowing what the group is going to be. So he knows what Team A or Team B is made up of, and so he knows the skill sets for that group. He probably has an idea of how good they are in their specific classes. I don't know how much the other teachers, like, talk to each other, but there's got to be, like, a record or something somewhere for him to know about what he's up against. So I wonder how much he's able to, like, predict what they're gonna do. And in the case of, like, Kun, there's, like, a spontaneity to his plans where he tends to, like, I was talking with some people in the comments of my last reactions, with plans within plans within plans within plans, you know? So he just builds all of these layers that you can't really keep up with where his actual plan starts and the other, like smoke screen plans begin. Whereas I don't know if Team B has that kind of quality to them, other than, like, they feel very disjointed. Like, there might be multiple plans going on at once, but it's not because there's someone pulling all of the strings in the, you know, center of this web, but because everyone's just kind of doing their own thing and hoping that they luck out. I mean, I don't know if a plan that is sure to fail and, like, just sort of charging in is the best way to show off your talents to get the best grade. I'm just saying, do something clever if you want to, like, show off your talents. And that's just me, maybe. If you want to just show off, like, physical strength and you're not trying to, like, show off mental skill, like, at least do it in an innovative way. Do it in a way that isn't just following what you've been learning in class. Are they gonna threaten Hats? That seems like a bad idea. What are we doing? Suspicious of you. After the note, I don't know if he'll, like, act on it, because it was just a note, but still, just making noises. Is that what we're doing? Trying to get attention, sympathy, maybe. I am also interested in finding out what exactly the motivations are for some of the other people for going up the tower. So I feel like some of them, it's more duty bound. I feel like that's kind of like with Kun, and I might be wrong because we haven't got any of his backstory, but I feel like it's tied up with the fact that he's part of these great families, and there's a little bit of scandal with that. So I feel like he might be going up the tower to prove something or to adhere to a tradition. And that's the same thing that I feel with, like, Endorsi. She's a princess of Jihad, so she's going up the tower to become a ranker and have that notoriety to go with the title of being a princess of Jihad, whereas, like, some of the other ones, it feels a little bit more ambiguous about what exactly their motivation is. Oh no. Why? Are we losing motivation? You shouldn't lose motivation. You should take motivation from seeing how Team A did. Just an ordinary girl. A thief. Wow, you're, like, kind of loud to be a thief. Just saying, she's not the most subtle personality, so I wouldn't have said thief, but interesting. Uh-oh. Ranker sounds not great. Ooh, see, this goes into what I was talking about before, where I said, like, nobody has really had an experience in combat with a ranker. They might have seen some of the skill, they probably talked and been around, obviously, because they've been in the tower for a little bit, but even someone like Kun or Lorray, who's a little bit higher status, might have interacted with rankers just in their normal life. But this seems like a story of, like, someone witnessing the power of a ranker, because we're saying watched in horror, so I'm assuming it's not a positive interaction with someone who's a ranker. Who are you? Have we seen this person before? Maybe not. I remember you. You're from the first chapters. What was his name? The bunny. The scary bunny guy. It bothers me that I can't remember the name. Hold on. Hedon, that was it. That Bomb encountered at the beginning. So he brought her into the tower? Why? Is it because she's, like, a deviant in some way? And that's basically what the tower's for? Or does Hedon have, like, some other motivation? It's a little terrifying. You were just, like, enjoying it. It's not gonna be that simple, I don't think. Aw. I like us, like, they're such nice guys, and then it's, like, Shibitsu, because we all have a soft spot for him, don't we? Shibitsu's just, like, honestly a nice person. I guess, like, it's an upside and a downside to being put into groups and teams and stuff early on in the tower, because on the one hand, being in a group that you can rely on is very beneficial for you progressing through the tower, but also getting close to people and then failing or having someone on your team fail and losing that connection or being pitted on different teams and stuff like that it starts to muddy the waters of how you feel about what's going on. I feel like it can be very jarring to both want to trust and work with people and not being able to trust them, because at the end of the day, you're trying to get out of the tower as a singular one, even if you have people to help you, and even if you make friends and you want to help them, like we have with Kun wanting to help specific people. Like, you can't really know if it's gonna work out. I feel like it's hard to build that trust and sustain it, especially if like you might be on a different team and you might have to figure out a way to negotiate that. And even Kun looking out for his friends that are on team B, he had to throw some other people under the bus to make that happen. You know, he had to make it so that some people would not pass for that to be the thing that he gained out of it. It's a weird situation to be in, but probably intentional. I like that we're getting a parallel with the story though, of like, we had Kun very self-assuredly being like, yes, I'm bringing specific people with me, like this is what I'm taking with me up the tower. And then we have this other story of wanting to be independent and empathizing with people anyway. Like, I feel like it's such a human thing to want to connect with people and to build relationships that you can rely on, because you can't be like anxious and stressed and paranoid all of the time. It's so emotionally and physically fatiguing to do everything on your own and not trust anybody around you. And I feel like it's inevitable that you try to find things that you can rely on. And I feel like that's why in some situations where you're in a stressful situation, that you just make up excuses for forgiving people and wanting to trust them, because it's difficult to just keep going on your own. You need like at least someone. And I feel like this is something that's happening with Rachel as well, where she was like, I'm going to be independent, I'm going to be on my own, I'm going to do this for me. And then we had that like dream where she looked over and she saw Bomb and he had all these people surrounding him and helping him out and making him happy and stuff like that, and her realizing that she didn't have any of that. And I feel like it's a similar thing here of finding yourself drawn to trusting and building friendships with people, even like acquaintanceships with people, and respecting them, and then not really being able to fall back on that like loner mentality. Good parallel with Ho too, because I feel like Ho is kind of transitioning into that loner, can't trust anyone feeling. So it's a nice, even here they're like back to back, you can like physically see them pointed in different directions, one of them with their face in shadow, one of them with their face being lit up, that they're in like very different places of how they're dealing with this issue. I feel like this is a lie. This I won't, because we've already seen Ho be show a little bit of animosity of people doing better than him, specifically Bomb. See, there's just something ominous about this. I feel like it's more Ho trying to justify using other people as stepping stones. I feel like that might be where we're at. It's like less about, oh, I'm prepared for someone to betray me so that they can keep going, or for someone to like intentionally make me fall so that they can keep going, because that's what he wants to do. Yeah, so let's not blame each other. That's like a collective. It's like not, so don't blame yourself. It's become a let me include myself in this discussion of forgiveness, because I think he wants to justify that to himself and have other people forgive him for what he might do. I love that like lineup with the shot we saw before with the spheres, but now it's Hats has both of them, because of course he does. This guy's just like spread out on the floor. Oh, what are your spidey senses telling you? Is it Quant? Is someone coming? I don't know how to tell you guys this, but this isn't about you anymore. Hats has more important things going on. See, he's even like, just get out of the way. I mean, I feel like he's also trying to like help them out, but I think also he's like, just go. Ah, augmented plan. Hats, you're gonna take on the Rinker on your own? That seems ill-advised. I know that Hats is like a good fighter, but even Anak didn't try that. Just saying, like on the scale of like crazy power moves, even Anak didn't do that. So like maybe let's just take a breath. I mean, it probably doesn't have much of a choice in the situation, but still, I don't have a good feeling. I mean, you might as well. If he's gonna come anyway, you might as well put up a fight. Yeah, he's not. I guess they don't have any of the context of like what happened, but Quant is in a very bad mood after what happened with Team A. It is dangerous. I'm very worried about what he's gonna do, because he had that weird moment where it felt like his rage was gonna manifest into some kind of ability, and Lorora was like, don't do it. Like he was panicking about what was gonna happen. That core. I mean, I see where you're coming from. Oh, where are we going? That's not the right direction. Uh-oh. We can't see his face. What are we doing? Are you going towards the Ranker? What are we doing? Away from the Ranker? What's the plan? Is there a plan? Or are we working on rage? Could go either way. Oh, it's actually there this time, so next chapter. Okay, chapter 44. Let's see if Quant has any chill. I doubt it, but maybe it could happen. I'm worried for Hats. I have a soft spot for him, especially since he's like, he's Kun's friend, right? Didn't we agree to all be friends? To sign the paper? I feel like he's gonna sneak up because he does the shadow thing, and he's really fast. A lot of anxiety right now. Yeah, I'm like, he might just like go right past him though. Oh, hello. He is fast, yes. I'm very anxious. On the stairs too. I'm worried. I have like this like phobia of people falling downstairs. I'm just like, I'm worried about it. Oh no. How dare you hurt him? I like him. Oh, the cracking noise, it makes me nervous also. Because if I feel like maybe it like dislocated something in his shoulder. So this doesn't look like he's using his other arm anymore. I find it interesting too that we're getting a lot of shots of Quant where you can't, his face is obscured, which just kind of makes him less like humane and makes him more of like this force that's just kind of circling around Huts. Like it takes away that humanity and makes him more of just like this faceless threat lurking in the shadows, which is very intimidating. We're getting some context for Hats and his technique. Ooh, it's interesting that I've just talked about how like there's this feeling of him losing his humanity, and then we have Hats making the observation that like he's no longer human, like it's that he's like transcended beyond that to become a ranker. There's like something other about him. Please do not take your anger out on Hats. He's just trying to be like a noble warrior vibe thing going on. Looks like he can use his other arm though, so at least there's that. Yup. At least Hats has like seems to have a better grasp of like what a ranker entails, because I feel like some people are like,
how bad could it be? He's just like the goofy teacher.
And then after seeing what happened with Team A, Hats is like, he seems to be something else. What's wrong, Bomb? Oh, hey. That's what Endorsi said. I didn't read that, I swear, before I said it. Oh, is he doubting himself? Bomb, you can. Kun believes in you, and I believe in you. And I'm sure Rock, wherever he is, believes in you, but he would never admit it. Okay, see, didn't we know that because the pin, because it has like the 3 eyes, and wasn't that one of the symbols from the Great House? I feel like it was. I mean, she's saying that she's one of the Great Houses, so like, confirmed. But I feel like that was one of the things that came up before, was the 3-eye pin has saved this. No, it wasn't the 3 eyes. Is the 3 eyes just connected to Princess of Jihad then? I guess it was. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But I did save the thing about the Great Houses, so be proud of me for making notes. At least we're getting a confirmation that the Princesses of Jihad are adopted. I assumed, but it's nice to have that confirmed. A disgusting place. Uh-oh. Not all sunshine and rainbows? Well, that doesn't seem very good. I mean, I definitely felt like it wasn't going to be a situation of like actual family feeling to it. I feel like it was definitely going to be more competitive, which I feel like maybe Endorsi thrives a little bit better in the situation of the tower, in that like she's been in a competitive situation before with the Princesses of Jihad, so she's a little bit more equipped to deal with the kind of tests and getting graded and stuff like that that is going on with the tower. That's an interesting almost metaphor for wanting to rise up in anything in life, because if you start at the very bottom and you work your way up and you slowly, you're always thinking about like, what does the person who's like next up from me, what do they get? What do they have that I want? And you never take the time really to look back and be like, how have I grown over the course of expanding your skills, your knowledge, you know, getting promoted, graduating, whatever it is. You're always looking, you know, up. You're always looking to the person who's got it a little bit better than you and wondering how to get there. At least that's what I have. I always feel like I'm always looking for what the next goal is gonna be, and I have to like really actively take the time to be like, okay, but where have I come from? How have I progressed? Oh, Bob, you're so sweet. He's like, did you ask them to share? He's so cute. I just want to protect him because that is not how it went. Endorsi definitely kicked the crap out of a bunch of them just to get a better meal. I mean, maybe not just, because like eating is like survival, it's strength. Like the better that you can eat and take care of yourself, the more fit you are. So it's kind of like a cycle. If you're like malnourished, you're not going to be able to progress as well in a combat situation. Bob's just, he's too cute though. It's a selfish thing too. It's like, you know, I need to take that person's food. That's like the dynamic of that situation. And I feel like that's just a really difficult situation to be in, of always needing what someone else has, and the only way to do that is to take it from them. It just seems like not a healthy place to be. This guy really wants Endorsi's attention, doesn't he? Like her approval. Definitely groveling a little bit, but Endorsi does not seem amused. Is Corpse's name? I think it might be. That's a very ominous smile right there. Especially after we just talked about, again, kind of using other people as stepping stones for you to rise up, right? It's kind of like what was going on with the conversation between, I can't remember her name, but the girl that was the thief. I was talking to Ho. It was like that conversation of using other people to progress higher. And that really feels like what Endorsi was doing with how the structure of the Princesses of Jihad was, that you needed to defeat the other princesses in order to get higher in the rankings. To have the like creepy smile afterwards of like, all part of your plan makes me worried that we're, you know, letting Hats fall or anyone else fall on the team so that she can rise up. Maybe that's not what we're doing, but that seems to be the foreshadowing. Why are we attacking the communication? I definitely believe that that's like something Endorsi will uphold. She just finished explaining that she's fairly ruthless. See that look though, she's definitely not playing around. Ooh, yeah. Like, I've seen Endorsi play around, and that's not what's happening right now. Dang, did we, like, punch him in the throat? What happened? Uh-oh. See, that's what I was just saying. I'm like, I feel like this is I will
Use all of you to get to what I want.
Oh, dear. Oh, no. I feel a lot of things right now, and I kind of want to like Endorsi, but not in this moment. So that was a very ominous turn of events at the end there. I feel like there's a lot of things going on with Endorsi. I feel like part of it is her upbringing. So if you're in an environment where you can only get something from taking it from someone else falling so that you can get what you want, that just sets you up to have that frame of mind. And I feel like growing up in that environment, being around people who encouraged that kind of behavior, I'm not saying it's an excuse, I'm just saying it like makes me understand where her actions are coming from. But I also feel like Endorsi wants more than that. We had some hints that she wanted to find out if there was a life beyond being a princess of Jihad, because I feel like she was kind of thrown in to the role by her family, because she was talking about how she's part of this great family and they only had the one ranker, so her family was ruined and they needed some way of building up their reputation again, and part of that was having a Princess of Jihad, and here comes Endorsi being accepted into the Princesses of Jihad. So I feel like it was kind of her being thrown into that for the sake of her family and not necessarily because she wanted it. And we also had her talking to Anak about like, what did it work out with your family being out there? Like, did it make Anak the mother, the original Princess of Jihad, or the first, wait, not the first Princess of Jihad, but the first Anak that was a Princess of Jihad. We got there. That like if she was happy with her life outside of being with the Princess of Jihad. And I feel like that just hints that Endorsi wants something more, and maybe that's part of what she sees the tower as. Like, getting up the tower, becoming a ranker is a way out and a way of her being her own person, maybe having a certain amount of freedom. Yeah, so maybe there's a kind of ruthlessness to it because she has that desperation for that. I don't know what's gonna happen though with her, because on the one hand I feel like this means that things are gonna go sideways for a lot of people, because if they're going by her plan and it's not really her plan in a very coon way but far more sinister, that it's gonna have a negative effect on their ability to perform in the test. But also she's with Bomb, and I can't help but feel like Bomb is a little bit of a like wild card, you know? And I'm like, will he do something weird and Chosen One-esque and very irregular as he is put into the situation where maybe it's a life or death situation, maybe it's just a desperate situation, and no one's there to back him up. He's on his own, except for these two other regulars that are with him, but I don't think there'll be much help. So it's not like he has Kun or Rock or any of his other friends that he's made along the way to help him out in this situation. And last time we had that was during the bonus round, so I'm a little bit nervous. I'm a little bit worried about what is going on. It also makes me wonder if the note that Ho got was from Endorsi. I don't know, maybe we'll find out. Definitely an ominous start to this team, one that was very disconnected anyway, so I don't see this being a team effort the way that it seemed with Team A. Team B seems to very much be out for their own interests, which is unfortunate for them. I don't think it's going to work out very well. You can click this playlist to go and see my previous reactions, or you can subscribe so it's the next time I post a Tower of God video, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!